I had something happen to me fairly recently, just a few nights ago, that I have never seen before or ever even heard of. I was going to sleep, and I laid down with my eyes closed, and after about 45 seconds, it wasn't long after I shut my eyes, very shortly after I shut my eyes, like within the minute, within the second part of the first minute, I see these blue, like, sentinels go floating by, like with my eyes closed. It looked like my eyes were open already, and I was looking in the dark, like when you close your eyes, it's all dark. The lights were off in the room, so there was no light from anywhere in the room. And in two rows of three and three, and it looked like they were about 70 feet away, came cruising in, like, the far side of my eyes. And I was, like, following them, like, with my eyes closed. It was like my eyes were open. I could see these things clear as day. These little blue glowing sentinels. They had their own light source, and they just went cruising by at, like, 15 miles an hour. And they were spherical. They looked like they were made out of, like, energy. Like, I could see they had panels that looked like stained glass, but it was mostly bluish white light that these things had. And I was like, holy shit. And I couldn't sleep after that. Like, that really fucked with me. Like, those things were, like, actually, like, real somehow. And I was thinking, like, oh, I got this thought in my head that if those things would have seen me, like, if I would have opened my eyes, I had this thought that if I would have opened my eyes, they would have seen me, and they would have known where I was, and then, like, if and when I closed my eyes again, they'd be waiting there for me, and they could, like, suck up my, wherever it is your consciousness goes when you go into a dream. But, like, there's like sentinels floating around in the, not in the dream world, but like in, I don't know if it's just in my head or in the collective unconscious, like, just, I don't know what realm that is, I don't know what to call it, but there's like sentinels that can apparently float around, and they're not like something, like, I wasn't hallucinating or anything, I was completely sober. That was what was really telling about it, as I was completely sober. I wasn't tripping or anything. It was just like a normal night, like I hadn't been drinking or anything. And I was like, whoa, those things are real. I haven't been able to really stop thinking about it ever since it happened. Like, I really wonder what would happen if I would have opened my eyes. It looked like they were, like, out searching for something, but that's just my assumption, because really they were just floating little orbs. They look like about the size of soccer balls, just floating by, like, cruising by, maintaining exactly the same speed. It looked like they were, like, between 70 and 100 feet away. I was under the impression they were looking for something. And I was like, I bet they'd be able to know I was there if I would have opened my eyes while they were going by. Like, I don't know if I'm just going insane, or if those things are like, I've never seen them before in my life. So, I don't know if there's something that's just been, recently made, recently coming into existence in that dimension. I don't know if it's that, or if they've always been around and they're just really rare to see. But yeah, it wasn't like when you're tripping. It wasn't like one of those visuals like when you're tripping with your eyes closed, you're hallucinating, and it doesn't look like clear as day. It kind of looks like, it looks like energy, like, but it's like half there. It's like your vision is still kind of dark. This wasn't like that. Those things were clear as day. Like if my eyes were open and I was already and looking at glowing soccer balls floating across a dark room, it looked exactly like that. It wasn't like something that was. They weren't something that was like a hallucination, or like, I don't know if my imagination could make those. Seems very unlikely while I'm completely sober. I hadn't started dreaming yet at all. Like, I was nowhere near crossing over into the dream world. So it was like really fucking weird. Has anyone else ever seen anything like that? Maybe not like in the same circumstance that I did. Maybe you saw it under a different circumstance, but mine was after closing my eyes. And if you have seen them, how many of them did you see at once? And what was their formation? For me, when they went by, they were exactly next to each other. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And they were like sideways like this, 1, 2, 3, and then like my fingers, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's what they were doing. So, yeah, I think I've said everything I wanted to say about those.